Hello and welcome to TEC Bike Parts. In case you don't know us, we're a family-run business. We've been trading for many years in motorcycle parts. We started out making parts for classic bikes, British and Japanese, and we've sort of evolved into making parts for the modern classic Triumphs. Then we moved on to make parts, also make parts for the new generation Royal Enfield classics, and even we're making them for the new BSA classic as well. Last couple of years, last year we were heavily involved in making parts for the two new 650 Royal Enfield models that came out, the Super Meteor 650 and the Shotgun 650, also the 350 range. Also last year as well, the BSA Gold Star that came out. We've got an extensive range of products for that. But this year we knew this bike was going to be a hit, this new 400 Triumph, the Speed and the Scram, which basically under the skin are the same bike, but both bikes have got quite different character and ride completely differently, and they're targeted at probably two slightly different markets. But it's been very clever of Triumph to sort of jump on this bandwagon. KTM did it with Bajaj, who are making this bike a few years ago with the KTM 390, and it's been a big success for them. The KTM Road 390 had a spin-off of the Adventure, and it's been very popular, that bike. And really this bike is quite strongly based on the KTM 390. It's surprising how many parts are the same or similar or derived from the KTM 390 parts, even though the bike looks completely different. More on that later when I come to describe some of the things that we're doing. So like I say, this year we haven't been doing many videos because we've been so engrossed in what we've been doing on this particular bike. We've worked to try and get as good a range of products as we possibly can. We've developed quite a few, and some are still in development, of a range of products that we've made for the bike and are coming very soon. We've also curated a sort of range of accessories to complement the bike as well with our trade partners. Some of them that we make parts that we don't make as well, so that works quite well with what we supply. So we've really got a sort of a one-stop shop for accessories for the Speed and Scram 400. We've discovered one or two things about the bike in the time we've had it, because we don't just make parts and put them up for sale. We make parts and we try them, we modify them, then we do pre-production models, and then they're made ready for production. So it's quite a long process, so we'd like to get the bikes as quickly as we possibly can. And this was one of the very first bikes in the UK. We ordered it even before the bikes were here, which we can normally tend to see what are going to be the winner bikes. So luckily we've had this for quite a while now. I'm trying to think when it was, but I know when I was first testing it, I had my heated gloves and my heated jacket on because it was that cold here. So, what have we done for the bike? Well, in a few moments I'm going to take you around all the parts that we've done on it, but I'll give you a quick lowdown on what really is available for it. Some of the parts are down low on the bike, and I'll need to show you sort of quite close up on what we're doing. So one of the basic, very cheap upgrades you can make that we've discovered on this bike, we haven't got an answer for it yet on the Speed, is that these bikes are quite undergeared. This is even more undergeared than the Speed. I've heard reports of people pulling away in second and third gear on these on the Speed because the gearing is quite low. Now I can understand why they've done it on this for off-road performance, but the bike is only designed as a light off-roader. It's not a full off-road bike like something like the Himalayan or the CF Moto 450 will be. They're much more off-road orientated. This is designed for light off-road, sort of trail, green-laden riding, maybe 80% road, 20% off-road, and nothing too severe. And if that's the sort of riding you do, which is basically what I do, this bike excels at it. It's fabulous on-road. You can even, much to my surprise, you can even go out with people on much bigger bikes, riding groups, and you won't get left behind. You can keep up quite well. The only way you'll get left behind is if they start riding at ridiculously illegal speeds. Up to and just over the speed limit, this bike will keep up no problem whatsoever. And it surprises quite a few people with its on-road handling as well. Another winning feature of this bike is its long travel suspension, which is absolutely great with the state of the roads at the moment. And I wouldn't really go back to a short travel road suspension after riding this bike. In fact, I tend to, all the bikes I've got, if I'm going to jump on something just for a short journey or even a long journey, I tend to jump on this. So anyway, where are we at? The best value modification you can do to this bike, from what I was saying, is to change the front sprocket from a 14 tooth to a 15 tooth. You're talking about a £15 part. And it pays massive dividends. I'm sure you'll see other internet videos about it, how to do it. I'll not go into how to do it, it's fairly straightforward, mechanical. There's quite a good video from a guy in America who's put it up. But what it does do, it allows you to hold the gears longer. It spreads the gear ratios quite a bit, so you're not always changing gear. And what I found before, if you're doing anything more than 40 miles an hour, you were in 6th gear all the time. And it was a bit of a pain if you were riding a dual carriageway or a fast air road. The engine would be sort of getting into its vibration zone at about just over 70 miles an hour. Now that's just over 80 miles an hour. And if you want to zip past a car, that acceleration at 60 to 70 miles an hour is much better because you just drop down to 5th. If you did that with a standard gear and it was buzzing too much, it was coming out the top of the power band. So you find it much more usable. And like I say, it's a £15 upgrade. It's the best money you'll ever spend. Strangely enough, I read on a lot of forums, people were asking Triumph if they could put the speed sprocket on here, and they said no, because it would upset the ECU in the computer. We found on some of the bikes, if you did change the gearing too much, it did do that, like the later Speed Twins. But one tooth is normally fine, and we've checked this out thoroughly. One tooth on the front sprocket doesn't affect the ABS, traction control, the speedometer reading, everything stays the same, because the sensors for the speedo and the traction control comes through the ABS wheel sensors, and you're not altering that at all. All you're doing is altering the engine revs. If you do dramatically change the revs, the ECU can pick up a transmission fault, it thinks, because it knows what gear it's in, and it knows what revs it's doing, and it can say, oh, well, the revs are outside the parameter, but one tooth is fine on that. So let's go into some of the other goodies that we've made for the bike. We'll start at the front. Well, we've got a screen. This is from one of our trade partners. Now we do two different screens because the mountings are different. There's the screen for the speed and the screen for the Scrambler. The screens themselves are exactly the same, it's just the mounting kit that's different. But we, unlike other suppliers, will supply that all together. You just tell us which bike you've got. The screen comes complete with the mountings. We're doing bar end mirrors. We do various types of these. For our European cousins who are quite strict about E-markings, we do a larger regulation size E-mark one. I personally prefer these slightly smaller ones, but we do the regulation size E-mark one with a longer stem on it. Now we're going to do adjustable levers. Now a quick word on that. As I said earlier, about the KTM. Now there's quite a few people on the market already selling levers for this bike. And this is a pair, they're actually marketing them Scram and Speed 400. You can get them on eBay and AliExpress, they all come from China. Now, these levers have been lifted straight off the 390, and the lever perch, they will work in it. It looks like they're correct. The problem is the dimensions on this adapter piece are not correct. There's a very slight change on them from the KTM. Now, the way I discovered it, and it was also mentioned in a few forums, is you've got adjustable reach on the lever here, and even on the shortest reach, you're actually just on your the tips, you're not even at the knuckle joint. I mean, my hands aren't particularly small, and what you've got to find is you've got to move your hand off the lever and start pulling with your thumb. So the way you can tell is these are marked DK12. Now DK12 are not right for this bike. You can use them, but the reach is too far. I use them temporarily with using a little rubber stop in, but we're getting the correct ones machined up, the correct adapter, so they should be available in a couple of months, but we'll be doing the correct ones in short and long. Right, now obviously there's differences in specification between the Speed and the Scrambler. The Scrambler has quite a bit more equipment than the Speed. The Scrambler obviously comes with hand guards. It also comes with a headlight guard, but we do that as an accessory, the headlight guard and rim. So if you want to put a protector, which is pretty advisable because these headlights are quite expensive, that will fit onto the Speed 400 as well, and we'll have those in stock. Same goes with the radiator guard. The Scram comes standard with a radiator guard, but we do the radiator guard to fit onto the Speed as well. This bike's fitted with the accessory high mudguard kit. We do those, and I'll take you down lower in a moment and show you the sump guard and the crash bars. We do two different types of crash bars. We do a high and a low, and they can actually all be both fitted together. A lot of times the crash bars you can use either or, but on this bike, if you want to be fully protected and protect the tank as well as the engine, we do the high and low. They can be used together. Now the sump guard, again, there's a difference between the Speed and the Scram. The Scram they both have plastic guards underneath, but the plastic guard on the Scram is quite a bit thicker and heavier, and does give a little bit of protection compared to the Speed. The Speed has very little protection, and one of the reasons why the Scram has better protection is it has a much more robust mounting bracketry system underneath the engine, whereas the Speed only has small light brackets and a small light guard. I wouldn't like to bump up a high curb with the Speed, because I think you could do serious damage, bearing in mind that there's no frame under this engine and you're going to hit the sump or the water reservoir or something like that. So I would recommend fitting the sump guard. Now we do a heavy duty 3mm Dural sump guard. It's TIG welded, offers proper protection. Now we supply this with a heavy duty mounting system. Now you don't need to use the heavy duty mounting system. You literally take off the plastic guard on the Scram and bolt this straight on, because it mounts the heavy mounts on the Scram. But it also, because it fits both bikes, this comes included with the heavy duty mountings to fit in place of the ones on the in place of the ones on the Speed. So that's a good investment. It offers real protection underneath. Talking about protection, the Scram comes with tank protectors, anti-rub tank protectors, but it doesn't come with the zip protector at the rear of the tank. Now we offer both of these for sale separately, and these just literally, you get a cleaning pad in the kit. You clean the tank and they literally just stick on. But they're a good investment, particularly the zip protector, because zips and buckles can easily put a scratch on the tank if you're not careful. Right, moving back, seats. Now the standard seats are quite comfortable, but not everybody likes a dual seat, a two-piece seat on the Scram. Now we do a one-piece seat that fits the Scram and the Speed. So we do a Comfort quilted seat that fits both bikes. Now a lot of people didn't realise that you can fit it the Scram, but you just unbolt the seats and it fits straight onto the Scram. And personally I prefer this because it allows you to move around on the bike more, particularly if you're riding off-road. But everybody's thoughts are different on that. And we also do a premium Comfort two-piece saddle, two-tone seat for this bike with a diamond quilted top as well. So we'll have those in stock. Now at the rear we've got this aluminium grab rail luggage system on from one of our partners. This is very nice and light and versatile, and you can put the top box on here or whatever. Obviously being all aluminium, it's quite expensive, but we are doing a slightly larger rack with a rear grab handle in tubular steel, which is it'll probably work out about half the price of this. Those are in development now and should be available soon. At the rear end, a lot of people don't like the plastic extension that comes out the back, so we've developed this tail tidy. Now a lot of the parts we've developed, we've designed copyrighted, and this is one of them. This takes all the standard lights, including the standard number plate light. It comes with a reflector. It's actually about a 15-minute job to fit. It comes with all instructions, all the necessary parts, no cutting of wires. It's plug and play, goes straight onto the bike, and that really tidies the back end up. And it comes with multiple mountings for number plates, so in a lot of cases you don't even need to buy a new number plate because the existing holes will line up with something there. And of course the standard or the option indicators will bolt straight on there, or you can bolt aftermarket indicators on. Choice is yours. I'm not sure if you can see from there, I'm going to have to bring the camera down, but we also do a design copyright bobbin mounting system on the back, which incorporates CNC alloy chain adjuster mounts that replace the standard cast alloy ones, and they incorporate bobbins as well, so it makes working on the bike much easier because you can use a standard hook type paddock stand on it. And we've also developed several exhaust options for this bike. Now this one on here at the moment is a stainless steel with a carbon capped slip-on system. Now they come with a standard baffle. We can do an extra quiet baffle. It's not particularly loud with the standard baffle, but we've tuned the sound so it's not obnoxiously loud. In fact, it's when you riding around on part throttle, it sounds stock quiet. When you're accelerating on full throttle, it's got a different sound. It's a deeper, more bassy throb, which is much nicer than the standard system. It's also much lighter than the standard silencer and a bit neater as well. They will come with a link pipe and all of the mounting hardware as well. Retail on those will be under £200. We are looking at making, well, it's in development at the moment, a full decat system. Obviously that's for track use only, you can't use those on the road. Well, you can at your own risk obviously, but they'll be coming soon as well. You're probably looking somewhere around about the price of our full system, depending on which silencer you get with it, of our BSA one, so somewhere in the £250 to £300 range for the full system with a silencer. So yeah, I think I've covered, so there's one or two other things. A couple of our trading partner companies, Power Electronics in India, obviously where this is made, now make a Fuel X system for this bike. We use these on a lot of bikes. Even on a stock bike they make a big difference, because on Euro 5 fueling, what you find is at low RPMs and low revs, the bikes are very under-fueled. This makes them snatchy, prone to stalling. The dealers can try to do remaps, but they've got to work within very tight parameters. Now this literally plugs into the O2 sensor in the exhaust. It goes in line and it modifies the signal, and it basically puts lean codes in and richens the mixture up slightly in certain times of the ECU cycle. I did a video all about this explaining how it exactly works, so I'll not go too much in depth of that, but we've got those in stock for these bikes. And really I would say if you're starting to do exhaust or intake modifications, these bikes are already run lean, unless you run it with a baffle in, the standard baffle in, which we've tested and works fine with the standard ECU. If you run it without a baffle in, I'd suggest you use one of these as well. We also do a washable, last for life, high flow DNA air filter system for this bike. These are available now as well. So, starting at the front, if you've got a look at the screen and the mountings, these mount directly into the headlight brackets. Yeah, it's really solid mounting. This is the headlight drill. Like I say, it comes complete with a new pre-drilled fixing ring for the headlight unit, and these screw in directly, so you get a really good location on there. The high mudguard kit is obviously colour coded to match the rear mudguard, and it comes with a new shorter black mudguard to fit into the existing mountings. That's all included in the kit. This is the radiator guard. Now that offers good protection against stone damage. Now I'd highly recommend that if you've got a speed. Now these are the lower bars. I don't actually have the upper bars mounted on this bike yet. These are the lower bars, and these are quite rigidly mounted. The mount between the exhaust and the engine underneath there, and obviously through the frame at the top there, and these are really tough, robust item. It also helps protect the radiator at the bottom there as well. Right, so moving up, obviously that's the bar end mirrors. Now these are all machined aluminium, give great visibility. They don't tend to get in your way even if you're riding off-road. Like I say, the larger version has got an extended arm now, because people used to complain that they caught their knuckle guards on it, so we've extended the arm on the larger one. We'll be doing these are just prototypes at the moment. These are the knee protector guards. Like I say, these are standard on the Scram, but these will fit most of the modern classic range, and we have those in stock. This is a must, I would say, if you don't want to damage your tank. Tanks are really expensive, paintwork's really expensive, and you know, for the sake of a few quid, it's a real worthwhile investment. This is the slip-on system that we've developed for the bike, with a special TIG welded link pipe. It's supplied with all the gaskets, clamps, etc., and a new hanging bracket. I've seen several on the market, and what they've done is they've tried to use the existing mounting without this extender bracket. And what it means, especially if you use a large silencer, there's a lot of the weight on this bracket, and there's a lot of leverage on it as well. So we were quite concerned about getting stress fractures and fatigue, particularly if you ride the bike off-road. So we've decided to use this extended aluminium bracket to take the load off here and stop stress fractures. Now these are the bobbin mounting units that I mentioned. Now these are, like I say, they're design copyright. They're straightforward swap. They're CNC machine billet alloy. They come supplied with bobbins and bolts, and they make life just a lot easier for storing the bike, cleaning the bike, moving the bike around, adjusting your chain, lubing the chain, cleaning the wheels, you know, inspecting your tyre. A myriad of uses they have, and like I say, we have design copyrighted those. This is the tail tidy fitted. Now, as you can see, we use the standard number plate light, standard indicators. We do supply a reflector, but I haven't actually got one fitted on here at the moment. And because it's all standard wiring, all standard lights, you're not going to get into any real warranty issues or fault issues. Or we did find on some tail tidy kits when the first T120 first came out, people were getting lots of fault codes, and things like the cruise control wouldn't work. But those days are long behind us now. We've figured out the best way to do that is to use the standard lights. This is the luggage rack system, the all alloy. It's even supplied with the decorative bolts, the longer decorative bolts, And this is a really useful thing. So you can put a, you know, if you're a solo rider, you can put a real big bag on here, and it's handy for lots of things, even if it's just, you know, a parcel you're picking up or something like that. And I think that's about it. We still have one or two things under development, and obviously they'll come on the website as they're available. Most of the stuff's available now, and that's about it. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye now.